So many books, full bookshelves.
So I know I just said that I was probably only going to review older books, except this one is brand new. This one was basically, I had been wanting to get a hold of some illustrations by John Bauer. I love his trolls. I love his work, the luminosity of many of his main characters. It's just it's just lovely. So when I went looking for something by him, I came across this, and for a very reasonable price, even new. I mean, even retail, the price for this is only about $25, and this is a beautiful book, and I think is going to be a wonderful addition to my collection. And I have a fairly significant collection of folklore and fairy tales and mythology because I use it so much for my writing. And you'll see there's a little bit of shimmer there. There's some silver. I do love my sparklies. But I don't have a lot, I mean, nothing specifically Swedish for my folklore and mythology. So that was definitely an incentive. And when it showed up, I was surprised because for the price that I paid for this, and I got this on sale, so it was only about $20, I was not expecting such a beautiful book. And this is really a lovely book. There's 20 to 22, I think, stories in it, illustrated by John Bauer, of course. There's also a short biography of John Bauer, and his was a brief and tragic life. He died when he was only 36, and that is a shame because what the man could have done, just so beautiful. I mean, obviously we're talking, it's a very exaggerated art style, cartoony in some ways, comic, but yet the man had a way, and I really enjoy his stuff. Somebody brought him to my attention by comparing my work to his, which is very flattering. And I don't think I have the touch that he does. But if you are looking for something that is just a beautiful book with some really fun stories in here, I love this. Every time Father Troll mentioned the coffee, Mother Troll said, "Ugh." And his illustrations are, I think, even almost better than the stories in some cases. And that may be translation too, because obviously these were not in English in the first place. But one of the things I like about this is the paper is actually really heavy. It feels nice to touch and handle, and I just think that this was a find. I am delighted with it, and I am looking forward to going through it in depth and in detail, which I haven't had a chance to do. This is literally just, it came in the mail yesterday, and I was blown away by it and just had to share. And these, the little twin flowers, Linnea, that is my favorite wildflower. I grew up with those in Alaska, carpets of them. And they're tiny, they're only about that tall, and they're just so frail, so ephemeral, so fairy-like, really. So, and here's what I was talking about with his luminosity. Some of his characters glow. In this case, this is the story of, and let me see if I can find her name. Ah, yes, Bianca Maria. So White Mary. So literally she glows. And all the way through this, and whenever she's portrayed, she glows. And I have to wonder what that says about the other characters that she finds. These are very dark and earthy, and she is ethereal and luminous, but the end is not saying that the trolls are bad guys in this case. And this one, again, he just has a way of encapsulating a story in an image. And I really enjoy his work. This is going to be a sheer pleasure to just go through and look at it And that is what I like to do with an art book, is just go through and look at it. Sometimes, rarely, I will go through and I will sketch and scribble, but mostly what I like to do is look at it and just absorb what I'm looking at so that I can then take it into my own work and have it come back out again in my own way. And the line art too, just a lovely book. Oh, I love this one. So I think a lot of these stories are intended for children, but that doesn't make them any less worth reading. C.S. Lewis's thing about fairy tales and becoming old enough to appreciate them again is very true. And you can sometimes, with a very good children's book, come back to it and read it again with new eyes. In this case, Little Princess Cotton Grass, this is one of the stories that I came across as being one of his illustrations, and that really convinced me to buy this book, because the cotton grass that I remember from growing up in Alaska, if you're out on the tundra where there are tussocks of grass, you have, and it talks it to soft tussocks covered with brown bear moss and woolly white cotton grass. And the cotton grass is this tuft of bright white fibers, and I don't know if you can spin it. I'm sure somebody has at least tried, I hope. I was not into fiber arts at that age. That came much later in my teen years, so I never did try. But I love them because the little wiry, slender stalk and that tuft of hair on the top of it swaying back and forth in the wind, just beautiful. And this, where she's riding the moose, is something that I've written into my books long before I ever saw this illustration. And so I love it. And it's a book worth owning. If any of this is interesting to you, for a very reasonable price for a really high quality book. So I can definitely recommend it. And yeah, that is an illustrated treasury of Swedish folk and fairy tales. And it has John Bauer's name in it, but it's obviously been collected and edited by others centered around his illustrations. So I hope that you, if you find a copy for yourself or at a library, I hope you enjoy it. Testing sound while talking to Toast. Toast is ignoring me. The mail truck, on the other hand, is fascinating. Look at the mailman go right past us. No packages today, Toast. Sorry. Okay, let's see how this works. If I'm going to look at the book, how visible is the book going to be? I mean, obviously, Toast.
So many books, full bookshelves.